Cheerio Paul, and welcome to another Hengist Wild Camps. Well, I'm out again, heading to the Manchester side of the Peak District. It's about an 8-mile walk, and the wind gusts are supposed to be around about 35-40 miles per hour max today. But we'll see what it's like when I'm up on tops. It's already a bit windy down here. I'm just crossing this reservoir behind me. And yeah, some of the waves have got white tops on them. I'll turn camera around and give you a quick look. I hope it's not worse as we get further up. It probably will be. But what I'm going to do for the moment is plod on. And I'll speak to you in a bit when I'm further uphill. And hopefully I'll be able to show you some really nice views. But for the moment, I'm going to plod on. Well, I'm roughly nearly halfway. Actually, I've got about half a mile to go before I'm halfway. I've just reached the Swineshaw Reses. Over here, we've got Upper Swineshaw Res. And behind me over there, we've got Lower Swineshaw Res. And yes, it's definitely more windy now I've got a bit higher. Well, that hill behind me, that's where I'll be going around the back of it. And that leads you to a place called Ogden's Brook, which is the boundary line of the Peak District. And there's a little bridge up there, and once you cross over the stream, then you're officially in the Peak District. So I'm going to plod up there, and I'll bring you back when I'm at Ogden's Brook. I've just reached the little bridge at the top of Ogden's Brook. This stream that you can see flowing down, that's effectively the Manchester border of the Peak District, where Greater Manchester spills into the Peak District, or the Peak District spills into Greater Manchester, whichever way you want to say it. But it's got a bit chilly now. I've got a bit higher, and I'm going to take my bag off and get my waterproof shell out, just to give me a bit of wind protection. I'll be crossing that bridge, going up Ormes Moor, and then when you get to the top of that hill, that area is known as the Wilderness, which always makes me laugh. Then we're crossing the Wilderness over to the Chew Valley, and then following the Chew Valley down to Winbury Rocks, because the place where I'm going to, it's a place that I haven't visited since, let me think, the first week of 2024. So it's been over a year, so it's long overdue another visit. You might have seen that video. It was back in the days before I could afford a decent camera, and I used to film things on my 75 quid mobile Android phone. Well, as I said, I'm going to get this rucksack off, get a coat on, and then plod on up there. And there should be some good views when we get up to the top at Wilderness, overlooking Manchester, etc. So I'll show you them as we plod on. Well, I've just crossed Ormes Moor, and behind me there, that's the Wilderness. But I've just stopped to get my balaclava on because it's getting a bit cold now. I've got up high. But what a view from up here. I'll just turn camera around and let you have a look. Right over there, got Manchester City Centre. There's the Upper Swineshaw Res, and just to the left of it, Lower Swineshaw Res, that I crossed earlier on. Down there, you've got Tintwistle. Over there, you can't see it, you've got Kinder Scout. Right, well, I'm just going to linger here for a second, get my breath back. I'm not going to linger too long because it's bloody cold. And then across the Wilderness, and that'll lead me to the Chew Valley. I don't know if I mentioned when I was down at Ogden's Brook, when I said I've not been to this place for over a year, but the place I'm going to is Indian's Head, overlooking Dovestones in the Chew Valley. Right, well, I'll plod across the Wilderness, and I'll probably ring you back when I get over to Chew Valley. Well, I've just made it through the Wilderness, and it was its usual boggy, swampy self, but with cat-like agility, I hopped and skipped through the worst of it, and I've arrived at the Chew Valley. Wow, what a view. I've forgotten how good it is. I'll just spin the camera around, let you have a look. Up there at the top of the valley, you've got Chew Res. Down there is Dovestones. I'm heading up over that knoll that you can see and down the other side towards Indian's Head. Oh, I'm so happy that I've got here. It was a bit of a slog going up there. It started hailing at one point and it got a bit cold, so put my gloves on. But oh, I'm so happy to be here. Some fantastic views. I'm just going to linger here for a second and then plod on in that direction, and I'll show you some views along the way. Speak to you in a bit. Well, I've arrived at my location, Indian's Head, just behind me there. And by gum, that was windy. Still is windy. Walking along that edge path along Chew Valley. Well, there's about an hour before the sun goes down. It's over there. I think I'll get my tent up now, get some shelter, because it is very windy. I think I'm going to get my tent up here. I've camped here lots of times in the past. Oh, my eyes are watering. Right, well, without further ado, I'll get my tent up, and then once I've got some shelter, I'll speak to you then. That's my tent all pitched up. I've got my sleeping bag lofting up. I've got my Exped R-Value 5.2 mat inflated. I've got my pillar inflated. I've got my Outkit easy sleeper mat underneath my air mattress. And I've put my down trousers on, down boots, and synthetic puffer jacket. Still got my balaclava and hat on. It is really windy and quite chilly. Well, I'll just show you what I've got lying around my feet. I'll turn the camera around. Well, on this side, I've got my boots. And if we pan past my feet, over onto this side, in this container, I've got a jar of chicken jalfrezi. I've got some sliced chicken tikka pieces. Got some pilau rice. There's my pots, pans, stove, everything's in there. Got some squashes drumsticks, raspberry and milk flavour. They were nice then that I had them last week. I thought I'll get them again. And of course, I've got 4 tins of McEwen's Champion 7.3. I'm glad to get my tent up and get out of that wind. By God, when I was walking along the edge path of Chew Valley, the wind was that strong, it knocked me over a couple of times. I didn't go flat on my face, I just like did a knee. But yeah, it was really strong, surprisingly strong. Well, this is my favourite part of the camp. You've got everything sorted-ish. There's a few little bits and bats I've got to do, but the majority of it's done. And you can just sit down, get out of the elements, start to unwind, relax, slow down, and my thoughts are turning to, you've guessed it, a tin of McEwen's Champion 7.3. Now tonight's beer is courtesy of Graham, who very kindly donated to my Buy Me a Beer fund. So thanks a lot, Graham, I really appreciate that, mate. Right, let's get it cracked open. Oh, that's a welcome smell. I'm so looking forward to this. Well, everybody at home, good health and cheers. Here by gum. That's good beer. Oh, that hit the spot, that. When I was walking up, on about 4 occasions, because the wind was that strong and it was a bit muddy, I was using my calf muscles a lot, you know, like stepping. And I don't know if it was the cold combined with being a bit dehydrated, although I did have 2 pints of fluid before I set off. But I kept getting cramp in the back of my calf muscles. Oh, it was a killer. It was hobbling me. Well, luckily, it won't be like that tomorrow because I'll have a super light bag and it's all downhill. When I was getting my tent sorted and I was inflating my sleeping pad, and I heard a voice behind me. And I turned around, there's 2 blokes there. Oh, I jumped out of my skin. Anyway, it turned out there were 2 fellow wild campers, Adam and Scott. And he said, "You've nicked this place." I said, "Well, if there's room for both of you around here, I don't mind if you want to camp around here." And they said, no, we're all right. And they said they know of a spot just up there, the way that I came. So they've headed up there. Might see them tomorrow morning. Well, as I said, I'm just going to unwind, relax. Hopefully my tent won't fall down in this wind. I'm in a fairly sheltered spot. And I'll get back to this and I'll catch up with you later. Well, I've just had to zip my door up. This wind, I think this could be possibly the strongest wind I've had this tent out in. I'm sure the forecast said max gusts of 35, but I don't know, I haven't got a wind meter, but using the Mark 1 eyeball method, based on my many years of experience, God, don't I sound naff saying that, I think it's much stronger than that. Oh, it's good fun. Well, it's 5 o'clock, as you probably just heard on news there, and sun's going down now, so about half an hour from now it'll be dark, so I'll be doing some cooking in dark later on. But with that door closed, it has warmed up a little bit. Oh, I can drink my beer now without shivering. Oh. Right, well, I'll get back to enjoying my beer, listening to wireless, and I'll see you later. I've just noticed I've damaged my Opkit Easy Sleeper folding mat. I'll just turn camera around and show you. Yeah, can you see that there? That cut out. That's just happened today on way up. I think it might have happened when I was going through a sty and there was barbed wire, you know, because it sticks out on either side of my rucksack down at the bottom. I think I must have snagged it, that's the only thing I can think of, and it's torn it. Ah well, these things happen. I'll console myself with another swig of beer. Oh, it's nearly dead, that tin. I might have to get another one out. Life's so hard. I've just been thinking, I haven't shown you around the neighbourhood yet. I was too concerned with getting out of this bloody wind and getting my tent up and getting myself sorted. Well, light's going down now and I'm not getting out my tent. So what I'll do in the morning is I'll get out and I'll walk up onto the top of Indian Head and I'll show you the amazing view that you get from up there over Dovestones. It's spectacular. Right, well, by gum, it's windy. I'm just going to finish this first can off. Oh, and I might turn my thoughts to having another. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I don't want to eat just now, even though it's daylight. I want to save it for a bit later because you're better off eating just before, or an hour or two just before you're going to go to sleep, because your body warms up, it produces heat while it's trying to digest it. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, bring you back later. Well, sun's gone down, it's still incredibly gusty. And my thoughts are turning to tin number 2, so I'll just crack it open. The lawsuit claims Isaac Kenevan, Archie Battersby, Jules Sweeney and Maya Walsh died while attempting a so-called blackout challenge. Well everybody, once again, good health and cheers. Related to the challenge are blocked. The UK government has ordered Apple to allow it to see encrypted data uploaded to its cloud services by users around the world. Currently such data
that's good beer. As I was saying earlier, I think this is possibly the strongest wind gusts I've ever had this tent out in, and I don't believe the Met forecast. Perhaps that was for down in valleys, not on top of the hills. But where I am, it should be fairly sheltered. I mean, I've got Indian's Head to the side of me. I'm in a little dip with wind blowing over the top of me. But what I think is happening, there's a bit of a vortex going on where it's coming through the cracks in the rock. It's spinning the wind around, and that's why this thing is rocking like hell. Oh well, all good fun. Anyway, I'm going to get back to my beer. these gusts are still incredibly stupid. As I said before, I don't think I've had this tent out in gusts this strong. This ain't what the Met forecast was saying. Well, I've got wireless on, and it's 7 o'clock. Just in case my tent falls down during night, I've been thinking, safety first. There's naught better than walking in the dark on a treacherous path when you're drunk. So, time for the third tin of beer. I'll just get it open. Bit of froth on my nose there. Well, everybody, once again, good health and cheers. Hey, by gum, that's still good beer. Well, I'm going to drink that tin and then think about getting some food on. That should be around about 8 o'clock-ish. Then I'll have another tin of beer to wash it down. And I think I'll get my head down because I didn't get much kip last night. Which I didn't mind because I knew I was coming out tonight, so it's always good to come out when you're tired. Because you get a decent sleep. And I need it in this bloody noise with wind. Anyway, enough of my concerns. It's all good fun. I'll see you in a bit. Time's approaching 9 o'clock. And yeah, these wind gusts ain't dying down. But I'm thinking about getting some grub on now. I'm feeling pretty hungry. I've had 3 tins of beer. I've got 1 left to wash it down after I've finished eating. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I was debating whether or not I should eat some of those Squash's drumsticks. Those raspberry and milk flavoured ones. Just eat those, have another tin of beer. And then I thought, no, I brought all this food. Don't be lazy. Get it cooked. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, that's my grub, mate. I've got chicken tikka, jalfrezi sauce, and pilau rice. Whoa, looking forward to this. Let's give it a taste. Let's get a piece of chicken in it as well. Whoa, that's so much tastier than the stuff that I normally make that comes in a tin. Well, it's really going to fill me up. Well, I'm going to shut up, get stuck into this while it's still hot, and I'll see you all later. Oh, sorry about the camera shaking around, my tent's rocking about. try and hold it down with the other hand. How's that? Well, I'm really full after that curry. Happily full. That was really nice. And I need something to wash it down with. So I have my last tin of McEwen 7.3. Whoa. I'll just get it cracked open. One-handed. That smells like a perfect way to round the meal off. Well, everybody at home, once again, good health and cheers. Oh. By God, that's still good beer. Oh. Well, I'm going to slurp this. Let my food go down. Might have another one of those squashes. And then I'll turn my thoughts to getting my head down. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy this, and I'll see you all later. Well, it's just gone 11 o'clock according to wireless. I hope it's not too loud and you can hear me. Should be okay because I've got mic here. But I've had my tea, I've had some squashes, I've had all my beers, and I'm feeling a bit sleepy now. So what I think I'm going to do is put the timer on radio for an hour. So it'll mask the noise of this wind. I can't hardly hear it, it's that loud and my tent's rocking around. I've got some earplugs with me, but I never like wearing them. But hopefully, because I'm tired, I've had a few beers and I've got a full stomach, I will drift off. I'm looking forward to a bit of a kip. Well, on that note, folks, I'm going to turn the light off. As I said, put wireless on timer and get my head down and drift off. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, all. Good morning, all. Time's about 20 to 8. It's just before dawn. The grouse have woken me up. Although I didn't get a great deal of sleep last night. It was so windy and so noisy. Anyway, enough of my overnight tribulations. Right, I suppose best stick my head outside and have a look before I get my brew on. Ooh, it's cold out there.
Every week they join people they might not have met otherwise and discover things they might never have known that they had in common. What they join? Perhaps because they want to adopt beliefs same-sex in the church. This spring marks the 1700th anniversary of one of the most influential days. Making sure that we are just pressing ahead with the things that we can see. The trade deal's a good example of really ambitious reset on Europe. If you had fast-track the free trade deals with India, Switzerland, we're told they really could become a hub of international investment because we've just got to lean into the political stability that we've got in this country. I'm sure we would be looking at a report very closely this week. Dear Burnley, their property, weekday mornings on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds. I'm embarking on a get-rich-quick scheme to marry an heiress. Most for their cash. I mean...
Well, I've just seen Adam and Scott, said good morning to them. They've just walked past my tent. They had a windy night as well. Well, I've just made my brew. I'm going to grab it. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Well, I'm going to listen to the news on wireless, drink my brew, and then slowly start packing up. I'll see you in a bit.
Well, that's me finally out of the tent. Got all my kit packed up, my trekking poles, etc. Just lying on ground, ready to put on. But before I go, this is where I was camped down there. You might be able to see that patch. And I'm just having a last look around for any tent pegs or little bits of rubbish. But it is absolutely spotless, like we all do. We leave no trace so others can enjoy it. Well, visibility is down to nothing. I think I said last night I was going to show you a view, but it'd be pointless climbing up on those rocks. You won't be able to see out. Well, I'm going to get my bag on and plod on back along the edge path. I'll speak to you in a bit. I've just arrived at the little bridge on Ogden's Brook and I've just crossed it, and that side of the bridge is the Peak District, this side isn't. So I've officially left the Peak District now. Well, this seems a good spot to wrap this video up, because I've still got about 2 hours walking ahead of me, about 3 to 4 miles, and you've seen most of it on the way up. And the conditions, although better now I've got lower down, they're still not great. So as I said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Well, before I plod on, I just want to say thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And as I always say at the end of my videos, I'll look forward to your comments, because I do enjoy reading those and replying to them. Well, on that note, there's not really further to say, apart from I'll see you next time for another Hengist Wild Camps, and until then, it's cheerio from me. Goodbye all.